Traders, welcome to a new week. We're heading into the second week of November here, and for me personally, this will be one of the last few weeks for me to call it the end of a year, because usually in December I don't trade. We have low volumes in December. We have everyone goes on holiday, stuff like this. The market lacks its volatility, which we like to see. So we want to make the most of the remaining few weeks. So here we are, before we get stuck into the pairs for the new week, I'll show you guys a couple of the setups from last week. There was really not much happening. I took this sell on AUD CAD 2 weeks ago, not last week, the week before. You guys can see we had, previously this low, this high, this low, this high. We had now this new lower low, and then we came back to retest the previous daily support that we broke as resistance, and then boom, you can see the selling pressure on this red candle. Also, pointed out to you by the volumes. Look at this huge volume spike right here, and that was enough for me to tell me the sellers were coming, stepping back into the market. We also had, the FOMC Fed rate decision. We had a few fundamental events, and so I took my entry here on the 30-minute time frame, which I mentioned to you guys in the outlook, or the midweek outlook of that week. We can see we have a break of structure here. We have this. Now we had a new low, a lower high, a new lower low, and so forth, and then we just went range bound. And I have to stay in the trade here. You have to stay in the trade. My partial zone, I wanted to pay myself down here, and there's no reason to get out of the trade here. You can see very clearly we are range bound. I stayed in the trade. We had the news events. As you can see, I was wicked out before the trade continued in my direction. It's just unlucky. Normally I move to break even, but I was not in a position to move to break even here, so I just had to cop it and see what happened. I also took a trade on Euro CAD in the same week, 2 weeks ago, and that was a buy position, which I also took a loss on. And for the breakdown of that, you guys can check out the market outlook and the midweek market outlook, where I outlined those entries. So, previously I was looking for a buy on this as such, because we had a high, a low, a new higher high. We had, a higher low here. It tried to push, however, I got taken out on this one, but that's alright. This is the nature of the game. Now, looking at the new pairs for this week, I also have Euro CAD in there, so let's go through the watch list for the new week. And starting off, we have USD CHF. Now, looking at this, you guys can see previously, we had a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. We had the head and shoulders formation right here. We had a new lower low, and then, the price pushed back up, tried to form a lower high and continue, and, didn't really play out. So now the trend has reversed. Like I said, we had the Fed rate decision last week. We are looking at more USD strength in the coming weeks. And now looking at this, we can see the market structure has shifted. So we had a higher low here. Now we have a new higher high, and we're coming back to form a potential higher low. So we have to wait for the candlesticks to point this out for us. So I was looking here, there was nothing at the previous resistance that we wanted to act as support. Now we're coming to the 100% level, and I want to see some candlestick rejection or engulfing candles around here to show us the buyers are stepping back into the market. Remember, guys, the trend hasn't reversed here. This is a we have a low point, a high point, we have a higher low, a new higher high where we are here, and now we're waiting for a higher low, or a low in line with the previous low, something like this, to target the previous high. Now, the only time the trend would reverse is if we made a new clear low point, something like this, and then I would wait for a retest to go short. So that's the plan here on USD CHF, waiting for the candlestick confirmations. Next, we have Euro JPY. This is as textbook as they come. You guys can see, we had this huge move up like this. Now we have a triple top forming right here. And on top of that, we had also a new low point, a lower low after the triple tops. You can see this bullish pressure has, you know, worn off. Now we have a new lower low, and yes, you guessed it, we're waiting for a lower high, because guys, when we have lower lows and lower highs, the trend is bearish. So when we have lower lows and lower highs, we want to wait for a retest of the previous, you know, support as resistance to take a sell after we see the candlestick pressure showing us sellers are coming back in. We then, you know, then we want to go to the 1 hour for our entry. And looking at this market structure, this is exactly what we have. We had a triple top, we have the new low here. Here's the previous level of support that we want to act as resistance. And let's grab our Fibonacci tool to tell us, you know, where in this zone are we waiting. And we are at the 50%. So anything today or tomorrow showing us, you know, that sellers are stepping back in would be, you know, we'd be back looking for an entry on the 1 hour time frame. So, and our targets would be the zone below. Nice and simple, guys. You know, same repeatable framework we use week in, week out. Next, I have GBP CHF. Here, let's go to the 12 hour, and you guys can see again, you know, GBP CHF, we have this high, this low, a new high, a new low, a new higher high, and now we have broken the previous level of resistance, the previous high. We wanted to act as support. We can see we have, we're in a zone here. We're seeing some buying pressure. You can see some wicks here. Underside wicks showing us buyers were stepping into the market on Friday. But let's see what happens today, because I'm going to be looking to go long, targeting the previous high. Because here we're in a bullish market, guys. And remember, when the market is forming higher highs and higher lows, once we have a higher high, we have to wait for a higher low. And again, you know, this is the previous resistance. We want to act as support. So we have to wait for the market to pull back. We want to wait for some candlestick rejections to the zone. And then, you know, we go to the 1 hour to go long to get our entries. And this is exactly what we want to see here. So if we now take this to the 1 hour, let's take a look at the price action and see what's happening. Now you can see in this corrective move of the 12 hour time frame, we have lower lows and lower highs as such. And now we have to wait. So this price action still needs to evolve. So maybe we get a double bottom, and then we want to wait for that first higher high and the higher low to go long. So, you know, I will be looking for something like this. Or what else we could have is maybe, you know, we form a ranging zone through here. Something like this, and then you want to wait for a breakout to go long, and this way you have an entry somewhere like this, stops below here, and you're targeting that previous daily high, because we are riding the daily trend with entries on the 1 hour, so we get better risk to reward, and our timing is on point. We're not guessing where the market is going. We're not premeditating anything. We're literally using price action to react to what the market is telling us. And price action is larger market sentiment. This is no indicator, none of this rubbish here. We're reading pure price action. We're understanding the sentiment of the market. So that's the plan on GBP CHF. So it's a good looking setup. There's a few of good looking setups this week. Next I have AUD JPY. And again, like Euro JPY, it looks really good. So looking at this, you guys can see, you know, we had, I'm going to change the time frame here because we had some big volatility. So you can see we had a high, a low, a new high, a higher low, and the market was trending upwards. Now we have, you know, somewhat of a double top, one top, two tops, a lower low, bang, the retracement, which looks really good. The previous support that was broken, now we want to see it acting as resistance. Remember, guys, the market never reacts exactly to the support zone. Sometimes we have deeper pullback, stuff like this, and this is why we can't premeditate our entry. Most retail traders will blindly set pending orders here, stops just above the zone, and their targets here, and they're premeditating the market. They're not waiting for the market to tell them when it's ready to make its next move. And here you can see an indecision candle right here. So what this tells me is, okay, on the day or in that 8 hours, we're going sideways, which means I want to see a new low, a lower high on the 1 hour to take my entry. And let's take a look at what this market structure is looking like. So let's go to the 1 hour. and it's not clear here, so I'm going to shorten the time frame a bit so I can see some clean price action. And that's exactly what we get right here. So what you guys can see now is this corrective structure, was forming higher highs and higher lows. Here's the high, the low, here's the previous high, and then now it's Monday, the market has gapped. So this is where we closed on Friday, and this is where we open on Monday, today. Now looking at this, I already see a potential trade setup. So what I'm going to look for, we can see we broke the low here on the open. And as you guys know, when there's a gap, it's often filled. So I'm going to wait for this to pull back, fill the gap here. I'm going to look for some rejections to potentially go short. From here, my stops above here, and this way we now have, this kind of price action. We have a new lower low here. Here we have the 1 hour support that was broken. We now want to act as resistance. And we have a gap here as well. And you know that a gap is, you may not know, but I know that when there's a gap in the market, more often than not, it's filled. And here, people might sell at this level here, but this is too early for me. And our aim of the game is to always buy low, sell high. And I know that if this gap is, there's a high probability this gap is going to be filled. There's a high probability chance we're going to get higher prices to sell from. Therefore, I must wait for the higher prices. Even if it doesn't play out that way, I got to let the trade go because I'm risking 1 to 2% here. I'm going to risk 1 to 2% here. However, my reward is greater from up here than from over here. And as a trader, your job is to manage the probabilities, manage your edge in the market. And I rather sell high for more reward than sell at a level where there's still a chance that the price could go further higher, if that makes sense for you guys. So this is the plan on AUD JPY. Next we have GBP NZD on the daily time frame. Here you can see a classic head and shoulders. And now you can see we have broken the previous support. We're at a interesting level here. So we have a few contact points through here. You access support, resistance. So I'm anticipating possibly a reaction here to form the lower low before the correction to form the lower high here, potentially to then go short again. So something to look out for here, like I said, I don't take too many counter trend setups in a month, but we just have to see what happens here. We could potentially ride the counter trend move up and then ride the impulsive wave down, playing ping pong on GBP NZD. And finally guys, like I mentioned, we have Euro CAD as well. So I had a bullish bias 2 weeks ago. It was incorrect. Now you can see the trend has truly shifted here. We've shifted from, the higher highs to now a new lower low. This low is lower than this low. You can see the previous support that was broken as well. We want to act as resistance. Now, on this one, I have to look at my Fibonacci here. So I'm pulling it from the previous high to the new low. And you guys can see 50% comes after the zone. Now, what does this tell me? This tells me that, okay, maybe we can react here, sure. But I'm going to wait for maybe a potential fake out. It's going to trap all those retail traders blindly selling this zone here and push up to the 50% area, 61.8, something like this, before pushing back down again. And for those of you, that remember, I always mention to you a third form of head and shoulders. We have the usual head and shoulders, the symmetric head and shoulders that look like this. On GBP NZD, this is the classic head and shoulders. Then we have an asymmetric head and shoulders, something like this, where we have a low, and then the start of the right shoulder forms slightly higher than the left shoulder, and then we have the third head and shoulders, which is this one here, where we have the left shoulder, the head, and then we form a lower low. And then it comes back a little bit to form that right shoulder like this. And now you have your third head and shoulders right here. And this is exactly what I'm going to be looking for here. And everything is pointing to something playing out like this. Because you can see 50% retracement on the Fibonacci comes before the zone. And as you guys know, I'm always waiting for my golden pocket or deeper. as you can see, you know, we have this right shoulder here as well, lining up with the 6180. So literally anything in this 50% to 6180 or deeper looks like gold. So that's the market outlook for this week, guys. As you guys know, we have quite a few setups here. I have put them all here so you guys can select what you like the best. I'm not going to trade all of these. I only risk, you know, I only trade 1 to 3 trades a week. I risk no more than 3% in the week. So I will pick, you know, 1 or 2 of these if they play out during the course of the week. So on that note, guys, I hope you have a great week. Mark up your charts, be prepared. So all you have to do is track the market for the remainder of the week. And you know, we are waiting for confirmations here on, you know, large time frame candlesticks, 12 hours, daily, stuff like this. So you don't have to sit there and check your charts every hour. So here we know, okay, we are waiting here, for example, for a deeper pullback. So this is probably going to occur by, you know, Tuesday morning my time. I'll probably look again at this tomorrow morning or something like this. So you know, you can go through the day and okay, we're waiting for, you know, 12-hour daily candlestick confirmations. The next daily candle opens tomorrow morning here in Australia, so I know I don't have to look at the charts till tomorrow morning again. So this is a way you integrate your trading into your lifestyle, your 9-to-5 jobs, whatever it is you guys do. So take it easy, guys. As always, any questions, feel free to message me on Telegram, and I will see you guys